Alright, Chapter 26, Railway Stations Yard. Introduction. Railway stations play for the railway line where the traffic is booked and dealt with whether the trains are given the authority to proceed on forward, sometimes only with the function of the carried out. The station accordingly with the classified flag station, block station, cave the flag station, the arrangement of the dealing with the traffic number, the controlling the movement of the train. In the case of the block station, the train cannot proceed further without obtaining permission for the next station. Traffic may or may not deal with, however, there must be a railway station before the functions increased indicated above. 26.1 Purpose of the railway station. Railway station provided with one of the following purposes: the do train, the detrain the passengers to load, unload good parcels, control the movement of the trains, to enable the trains to cross each other over the case of the single line section, to enable the fast trains to overtake the slow ones, to enable the locomotive to refuel where the diesel and water and coal, to attach detached coal with the wagon and train, to collect food and water and passengers, to provide facility change engines, crew staff, enable the sorting of the wagons, bogies, of the form new trains, provide a facility to give the shelter passengers in case emergency, to flood accidents and disrupt traffic. 26.2. The selection of the site of the railway section. Following factors consider the selection site of the railway station. Adequate land. There will be adequate land available to the station building, not only proposed line, but also in the future expansion proposed area, which should be without any religious buildings and level. Area with a good building drainage. The purpose of the site, but preferably on the fairly level of the ground with the grid gradient requirements if possible. Provide maximum permissible gradient in the yard. India, maximum permissible gradient is about adopted 1 in 400. A gradient with 1/1000 is desirable. Alignment. The station site should be preferably station alignment so that the various signals are clear, visible, approximate. If the station site is curved with the present the number of the operational problems, the easy accessibility. The station site should be so easily accessible. The site should be newer villages and town nearby villages should be connected with the station by means of approach road, the conveyance of the passenger water supply arrangement. One, selecting the site, that should be verified that the adequate water supply is available to passenger operational needs. 26.3 Facilities were required in the railway station. The passenger station gateway that through the which for the people find the way into the town of the community. The first impression, last one. Hence, the well-designed station building will maintain the surrounding of this important will still serve as the main consideration type of the furnishing and finishing station beyond which should be as far as capable, practical, keeping the best standard for the civil amenities available in that area. The large passenger station provided with the facility corresponding to the anticipated demands of at least 30 years of life and provision for the future expansion facilities required in the station broadly classified in the following main groups. Passenger requirements. This includes waiting rooms, the rest, retiring rooms, refreshment rooms, tea stalls, the inquiry, reservation offices, bathroom, toilets, drinking water supply, platform, sheds, approach roads. Traffic requirements. This include good shed, platform, station building, station master's office, other offices, single cabin, signal cabins, reception, departure lines, siding arrangement, dealing with the broken down trains, station equipment, locomotive carriage and wagon requirements. This include locomotive shed, watering and fueling facilities, turntables, inspection pits, ash pit, ashtrays, etc. Staff requirements. This include the rest of the house officer staff, staff running rooms, required driver, the staff, canteens, etc. Requirements of the passenger station railroad. The main requirements of the passenger railroad as follows: if they should be possible, lower the signal's reception train with the different direction. At the same time, facilities are particularly necessary with the junction of the station, so at all times they will be connected to each of the other that may be received at the same time. Unless they are booked at stop station, it should be possible to run the train through the station prescribed. In this case, the entire engine chaining station engine coupling with the going of the shed should cause the minimum interference with the arrival departure of the time. Adequate number of the platforms should be provided so that all the trains can be dealt with in the same time. There should be a convenient siding with the extra carriages can be stable. They either attach having to detach the train before the attachment of the train. There should be provision facilities for dealing with specific traffic such as pilgrim, tourist traffic, the parcel of the wagon, livestock, the motor cars. Stable lines, washing lines, sick lines, etc. should be provided with the per requirement. 26.5 Classification of railway stations. Railway stations can be broadly sorted in various classes. The class is based on two main considerations: operational considerations. As per general subsidiary rules, Indian railway stations are classified in block stations and non-block stations. Block stations are further classified as A class, B class, C class stations. Non-class block stations are classified as D and flag stations. Functional considerations. Station classified functions are required to be performed under these category satisfaction. Stations classified in half stations, halt station, flag station, cross stations, wide stations, wayside stations, junction stations, rail and terminal stations. Rail station, block station, A, B, and C class. Non-block station, D class section, flag station, DK station. The following factors are taken into consideration when classifying railway stations. Less expenditure regarding the provision of the latest number of signals, flexibility, shunting operation, increasing line capacity, faster movements of the train. 2651 Block Station. Block Station is a station when the driver has obtained authority to proceed in order to enter the block station. Railways block station exclusive of the blocking station. The entire railway line is divided into convenient block stations. Section 5 and 10 kilometers. Block station provided individually each with the block. The system is insurable to suit the space interval to provide with the running the train so that there are no collision accidents. There are 3 types of block stations. The A-class section is normally provided with a double line section with such that the station's line clear with a single cannot be granted with the rear of the station and left of the line which the train received the clear and facing points locked. No shutting can be done after the line clear of the granted. The class station suitable for the section where for traffic to pass rapidly, essential for the driver of the train to have advanced knowledge layout of the block station. The typical layout of the A-class station and the 2 aspect signals shown in 26.1. 26 words shows the A-class section. Warner home, advanced starter, home, Warner, advanced starter, double rail, class A, single line, and class A section, Warner, block station, home, starter, home, Warner. The signal required in the A-class section is as follows. A warning signal is displayed with the warning distance from the home signal, the wane function which indicate where the section began with the clears. Otherwise, home signal is where the first stop signal and start signal is placed for the adequate distance from the home signal. Makes a point up which the line is to be cleared with the train be given the permissible approach. Permission to approach advanced start of the signal but optional provide allow the drivers to further increase speed of the train. Advantages, more economical, vice versa. B classes because of the use fewer signals. Sure safety trains because of the provisional warning signal ahead of the home signal. Trains normally stop within station limits. Disadvantage, no shutting possible. Online clear has been granted. Another clear disadvantage of the A-class signal class station is that the line of the station has been kept clear with the station's start signal once the line clear signal has been given, and as such, the flexibility working shutting is restricted. Are your B class signal the most common type of the station that provide with a single line with as well as a double line section A? That the B class station the line is clear up to the adequate distance beyond the outer signal before the permission approach is given to the train. Minimal section required with the B class section as follows. Single line section, the dotted line equals the block section, full line equals station section, outer Warner, advanced starter, home, starter, home, advanced starter, outer Warner, class B double station line. Single line station, outer Warner, advanced starter, shunting board, home, starter, home, advanced starter, shunting line, limited board, outer Warner, block station is in dotted line station, full line station section. Or outer signal, which is the first stop of the signal. The outer signal can also be below the Warner, as also home, and the home signal was protected with the facing point of the place for the adequate distance for the outer signal. Started with the starter signal is provided with a double line section. The B class section, the most common type of the station in Indian Railways, because it offers greater flexibility with the working, providing Warner with the outer arm of the point post at the station. It can also cater the fast traffic with permitting shunting of the vehicles, even when the clear signal has been given. Your Class C station is only a block hut that where no booking of the passenger is done. Basically, they provided with a split long block section so that the interval between successive trains is reduced. No train normally stops at these stations. Minimum signals are required as follows. C shows the double line section, Warner, home, block station. Single line section, home, Warner, home, block section, home, Warner. Your the Warner signal in place with the adequate warning device for the home signal that indicate whether the section ahead is clear or not. The home signal is whether the first home stop signal. The advance of the C-class section ensure the faster movement of the train increase the line capacity. Disadvantage, however, is that there's no shunting possible. Trains cannot stop at these stations. 2652 non-block stations or D-class stations. D-class and non-block stations are located between 2 block stations. Do not form a boundary of any block station. No signal are provided in the D-class section. Class station, D-class station severe is outlying siding of what we call the DK station, such as the station siding K off their crossover, which can be operated only with the help key of the key turn release with the help of the ball taken. A D-class station has served no siding in the flag station. 2653, the function classification of the station. Layout station varies on the side with the importance and according with the type of the volume of the traffic handled, according with their locations, respect with the safety of the industrial areas. Broadly speaking, the layouts required with the passenger station and the yards that are to be divided the following categories: purpose of the study: halts, flag stations, roadside crossing stations, junction stations, terminal stations. A halt is simply a station where the train is stopped the railway line. The halt is usually only a rail level the platform, namely bare boarded at at either, and sometimes some small waiting shed is provided with it. Also served at the booking office. There was no yard of the station building. There should also provide for such stations some of the selected trains are still allotted stops and lines in many of the two stations and enable the passenger to detrain. The booking of the passenger is done traveling ticket when examiners book of the cleavers. Booking keepers note example of the Halt and Gossamer Bridge, which should be situated in the bank of the Gangia. This shows the layout of the Hull station, name of the board, rail level platform, rail line, name of the board. Your flag station. The flag station is more important than the stop over the train than the halt to provide with the station building and the staff line control section of the flag section. Flag station is equipped with a Morse telegraph control phone, which is connected to one station with either side of the facility. Each communication flag station usually provided with a small waiting hall, the booking off the platforms, being benches, arrangement for drinking water. Sometimes the flag station is also provided with the siding and stabling wagons booked for that station. Your wayside crossing station. Flag station comes from the wayside crossing section. Flag station arrangement for dealing with the traffic, but none of the control movement of the trains crossing stations. The arrangement of the control of the movement of the trains block stations. Sections ideal with crossing stations. Initial conceived with a single line section. Facility crossing trains going in the opposite direction so that there will be more rapid movement. Figure 26.5 layout of the flag station, name board, railway level platform, station building, latrine block, name of the board, railway line. Crossing stations may be further classified as roadside, small, and medium-sized stations, major stations. Some important tasks dealt with these stations are the following. Operation work. The main operation performed at these stations include the attending the passing of the crossing cars, giving the precedence for the important trains, other miscellaneous work done with the stopping of the passenger train, the show of the passenger train. Most stop at the small station where the mail is expressed and the train stops, or major stations. Goods and traffication must be dealing with parcel with the traffic only piecemeal. The wagon leads to good traffic now being accepted with the roadside stations. As per new policy of the Railway Ministry, will affect the day December 1994. Operation point and signaling. Operation point and signals are controlled by either the central cabin and two cabins at either end of the station. Reception and dispatch. The train, the reception dispatch is whether the shuttling train is handled per the instruction laid down with the station work order. The block instrument is provided to either station master off of the cabin. Entire responsibility carrying over the operation line of the station master. Station master's duty for the running through the trains. When the train runs through the station master is to stand opposite his office in proper uniform, exchange all the right signals with the driver to guard the train. He should watch the running with the train carefully. If there is unusual occurrence such as the incident of the hot box, should instruction station of the station officials in advance to stop examine the train. Wayside crossing station, single line section. Increasing traffic to the single line section necessity for the crossing the construction of the three line station which provide the additional line as well as the more facility for the passing traffic. The typical layout of the three line station provided one additional line with a simultaneous reception facility given in figure 26.6, which is made possible to improve the facilities, further introducing additional lines to deal with goods and traffic. Follow there's some more important features of the track layouts. Figure 26.6 is a wayside crossing station, single line, dead end sideways, coming in lane line, sand hump, loop line, inside island platform, FOB, pass platform, station building, sand hump, looping line, deep dead end siding. It is a three-lane station provided facility simultaneously reception of the train with both sides of the proximity sand humps each the direction. There are two platforms, namely island platform and platform near the station building. The island platform can deal with the two stopping trains simultaneously, although also good trains have to be stopped in the island station. They can be accommodated loop line with the platform, keeping the main line free from the rough of the traffic. The important trains that can be halted can be made to halt on the platform near the station building. Dead end siding to either side of the station, accommodating wagons are marked in stick. Foot over bridge, or FOB, that helps the passenger reach the island platform from the station building, vice versa. Double line crossing station, extra loop. In case the double line section consists of separate up and down lines to deal with the traffic moving in either direction, the layout station is somewhat different. Show the double line station, three lines, receiving with the one common loop with the train coming from both sides. Some of the important features of the layout as follows. Your double line crossing station, you have the three line, foot over bridge platform station building to the common loop, the double main line, up and main line, sand hump, common loop. This wayside station double line section of the almost minimum facility, in addition to the two main lines up and down, there is a common loop of the receive of the train with either direction, two of the three lines, and consisting with the two platforms on one island platform, the other platform beside of the station. There is a roof over bridge to connect with the station building to the island and back. The emergency crossover provided at either side of the station, and it can be converted into a single line station in case of emergency double line crossing station with four lines. Most common layout of the station with a double line section with the four line station in figure 26A is an important feature of the layout as follows. 26A shows the double line crossing section of the four lanes. You have your down sand hump, double down loop, up main, down main, station building platforms, emergency crossover, up and sand hump. These four stations were apart with the two up and down main lines, the two extra loops. The loops are directional loops, and one known as the down loop, the meant for the down train, where others are up loop, the meant for the up train. There are two platforms provided with the connection loop. One of these platforms should be maintained on the island platform. There is a provision of footbridge with the connection with the two platforms. The two emergency crossover provided either side of the station that can be converted with a single line station in case of emergency. Alright, junction station. Junction station meeting with a point of three or more, moving more of the lines emerging with a different direction. Normally, junction of the train arrive at the branch lines, return the train at the same station from where they started, proceed to the other station from which they are again return with the original station. Typical layout of the junction station: the single main line, single branch line, and figure 26 times. With the important features of the junction stations are as follows. Alright, figure 26-9 shows the junction station with a single main line and single branch line. You have your T1 turntable, sand hump, foot over bridge, loop line, main line, platform, station building, good shed, and branch lines. The two platforms, one side of the mainline platform, other is the island platform. In case the timings of the two train maps of both trains can be received made with either side of the island platform. The helps in easy in transshipment of the passenger luggage, and also mainline as well with the branch line can be received at the main platform. A foot overbridge is provided with the passenger move between the station platform and island platform. It is provided a small goods siding on the loaded platform to deal with the good traffic. The turn table to provide the reversing direction of the engine if required. Emergency crossover provided with either side of the station helps with the switching of the single line and setup of the case emergency. A few examples of the junction station: the Gazabad, Alabad, Itris, Nagbahor, Jaipur. The typical layout junction station with a double line section with one or two branches coming from one to two different directions shown in figure 2610. The most important feature of the layout is in such that station receives traffic for the four different directions: up main line and down line main. Junction station, double main line, and two branches. Branch 1, branch 2, station buildings, good sheds, good platforms, deadline siding, island platforms. Line branch line 1, branch line 2, more facility provided in the station, almost the same as described in figure 26.9. Are your terminal stations. Station with the railway line, one end of the branch is termination known as a terminal station, terminal junction. The reception of the terminates the dead end of their provision engine of the incoming turn of the turnaround, move them from the front of the rear to the train to such station. In addition, the terminal station may need to equip the facilities watering, cleaning, cooling, fueling, stabling, engine storing, inspection, washing, charging, carriage, and such other. Figure 26.1 shows the terminal station with run around line. Your concourse platform, 3 platforms. Unimportant branch line terminal stations will have the one platform where the big terminal station is a Harat and Mabi station, which provides elaborate facilities general layout of the big terminal station. Track 1 and 2 on platform 1 and 2, platform 3 and 4, track 3 and 4. H denotes the hydraulic buffers, the entry and the exit of the changing area and entry and road. It may be noticed the exit out of the platform to another V of the concourse that there are an overall bridge provided for the purpose of the Grand Central Station with the New York. Figure 2613 depicts the circular loop provided with the general Grand Central Station in New York. The provision of circular loops enable the train to pass through the terminal station without any delay. The further advantage attached to the loop system that enable the provision for the special station dealing with suburban traffic underground locations away from the uncongested and with the main terminal close proximity to the business districts, affording direct connection to the other stations. 26.6 Station platforms. Station platforms are provided in training with detraining passengers. Platforms can be rail level, low level, high level platforms depending upon the expected passenger. Each with the Station general policy of the Indian Railways is to provide a high-level platform, all important mainline stations, low-level platforms at less important mainline stations, rail-level platforms, unimportant way stations, height rail-level platforms conside with the railway level, low-level platforms at a height of 1 foot 6 inches, high-level platforms at 2 foot 6 inches, 2 foot 9 inches, broad gauge line 300, 1 foot, 1 foot 4 inches, case of meter gauge. Other details of these platforms are given in Table 26.1. This shows you a circular loop of the Grand Central Station in New York. Shows the circular loop and all the platforms in the two concourses. Alright, 26.7. The main building area, a different type of the station. The main facilities provide with the case of the small station waiting hook with the booking in the hall of the assistant station manager, ASM office of the showroom, a different design that has been standardized type of the station. Various railways which provide all facilities require a small, medium-sized station with consider the big station. However, the design of the individual station building has been drafted based on the requirement passenger view that regard with the architectural features. Central railways are prepared in the type of the drawing wayside station with provide different facilities, different type of the station building and summarized table 26.2. Different type of station, type A, type B, type C, type D. Alright, 26.8, type of the yards. Yards of the systematic train is laid out with the deal with the passenger well as good with being handled with the railway. The rails include receipt, dispatch of the trains and a part with the sailing, with the sort of marshalling and other functions. Yards are normally classified in following categories. Coaching yard. Main function of the coaching yard is deal with the reception and dispatch of the passenger yard depending on the volume of the traffic. The yard provides facilities such as watering, fueling engines, washing rakes, examining coaches, charging batteries, transporting transshipment of the passengers. Good yards are provided with facilities, reception, stabling, loading, unloading, dispatching good wagons. The good yards are deal with a full train load of the wagons, no sorting, marshalling, or reforming of the done in goods yards, except for the casing of the sick wagons, a few wagons booked on the particular station. Separate goods sidings are provided with the platform loading and unloading, with the goods being handled at the station. Marshalling yard. Good yard which deal with the sorting of the good wagons and new goods for the train is called the marshalling yard. Marshalling yard. They discussed in section 26.8.1. Locomotive yard. The yard is which have the locomotive facility with watering and fueling of the examined locomotives preparing. They are provided with the yard. The yard layout is designed with developing upon the number of locomotives required for the house and the locomotive shaft. The facilities are arranged to require requisite number of the locomotives to serve simultaneously are readily available to hauling of the trains. Such yards there should be adequate space for the storing fuel. The water supply should be adequate for washing locomotives and servicing them. Or your sick line yard. Whenever the wagon comes from the wagon or coach becomes defective, marked sick, to take into the sick line yard deals with such a sick wagon. Adequate facilities are provided with the repair of the coach of the wagons, which include examination pits, crane arrangements, train examiner office, workshop. A good stock of the spare of the parts should be available in the train examiner for the repair of defective rolling stock. The marshalling yard. The marshalling yard is where good trains are received and then sorted out of the new trains to formally dispatch various destinations. 26.4 shows the marshalling yard's common sorting yard. Marshalling yard with separate humps and separate up department, up sorting, up station building, up pass loop, down main line, up line, down pass loop, cross traffic hump, down receptacle, down sorting, down department. Down engine shed, up engine shed, down yard, up yard, down train, receiving yard, down main, up main. Hump yard, sorting yard, up train, wreck yard, down train, department yard, engine train, down department, down yard, down department, up department, train, up yard, departure, engine, up department. Alright, this yard received load with empty goods with the wagons, different station further booking the different destinations. Wagons separated sort with other properly marshaled. Finally, dispatch and bearing of the fully train of the various destination. The marshalling of the train is done with the wagons can be conveniently detached without much shunning at any route with the wayside station. Marshalling yard is served with the following functions: specified location yard itself. The reception of the trains are received at the reception yard with the help of the various lines. Sorting trains of the train normally restored with the help of the humping and the shunning of the knee and neck of the short siding. Departure for the train. The train departure for the departure for the yard. Various lines are provided with the various purposes. Separate yards may be provided with deal with some of the down traffic as well through the trains which need not to be sorted. Principle of design. Marshalling yard should also be designed so the minimum detention on the wagon yard and such sorting can be done as quickly as possible. The yard should be provided with necessary facility such as a long shunning neck that is properly designed hump. braking arrangement with the shape of the mechanical retarders depending upon the volume of the traffic. The following points should be kept in mind. Designing marshal yard through the traffic should be received dispatched expeditiously. Possible idle time should be avoided. There should be an unidirectional movement of the wagons as far as possible. There should be no conflicting movement of the wagons, engines of various parts of the yard. The leads of the permanent wagons of a train engine should be kept as short as possible. The marshalling yard should be well lighted. There should be an adequate scope of the further expansion of the marshalling yard types. Marshalling yards can be classified in three main categories, mainly flat yards, gravity yards, gravitation yards, hump yards. The classification is based on the mode of shunting used in the marshalling yard. Flat yard is typically a type of the yard where all the tracks are laid almost level with the wagons are relocated and stored without the help of the engine. The method of costly as involved the frequent shunting requires constant use of the locomotive power. The type of the required is almost more engine has transversed same distance twice. First, carrying the two wagons to the place for the yard, sort of, and then return into the yard, return idle into the yard. The arrangement therefore adopted when the limitation space there are several limitation funds. The number of the wagons dealt with the marshalling yard is very low. Or your gravitation yard. In this yard, the level of the natural ground is such that the possible lay of some of the tracks is greater than the tracks that so lay with the wagons move to the side against the sign is the purpose of sorting with the action above gravity. Sometimes shunting is done with the help of the gravity assisted by the engine power. However, the very seldom natural good around level as well is suitable for the gravitation yard. Or your hump yard. In this yard, the artificial hump is created by the means of the proper earthwork. The wagons are pushed up the summit of the hump, which will help the engine from them slide down with the reach of the siding effect of gravity. The hump yard, therefore, can be said to be gravitation yard. Shunting is done with the effect of gravity. Gravity normally adopted regarded this listed in Table 26.3. However, the only recommended gradients and final gradient in a particular yard is decided after a test run of the trains over the humps, taking into consideration role and quality, different type of wagon spacing between successive groups of wagon, topographically location of the yard, and also play an important role in deciding the gradient. Regulation of the speed of the hump yard. The speed of the wagons regulated to ensure they keep the stable condition siding whether to be sorted so that they are at least damage to them. The regulation of speed is done as follows. Or your mechanical method. The method of the wagon slowed down automatically with the help of retarders. Retarders are normally shaped with the bars fixed on either side of the track, operate electrically and electromagnetically off the resistant movements of the wagon, pressing against the side of the moving wheels, finally stopping the wagon's appropriate place. Such as the mechanical retarders are extensively in Germany, other developed railways. This is a new catenary group of the hump yards. Creates the hump. Gradients of mechanical hump yard pushing 1 to 40, level to 1 to 20, 1 to 100, 1 and 1 to 100. Movements of up and ground gradients. Alright, non-mechanical yard. In non-mechanical yard, speed wagons are regulated manually. Help with the handbrakes gave with the shunting power with the runs alongside of the wagons. Applied with the handbrake with the wagons in appropriate space for the place, making the wagon slip and stop. The skids also used to slow down the wagon skids that are placed in the track of the get dragged with the rolling wagon. Friction develops, reduce the speed wagon of the wagon stop in the desired location. Design various constitution. Design detail of the various components of the marshalling yard is discussed. Spacing of the marshalling yard depends on the average distance that a long distance train can go. This leads up to 500 kilometers. Section train goes up to 100 kilometers. Approved spacing for marshalling yard 400 kilometers. Sitting on the marshalling yard. A marshalling yard is normally seated at the junction point with the depot yard group of the collieries, the feed yard, the big terminal point of the steel plant. The reception yard, the normal lines that can be included. The reception yard depends upon the number of the trains to be received, the frequency of their arrival. Normally one reception line with the proposed for every 3 or 4 trains. The approved length of the side with normally 700 meters broad gauge, 650 meter gauge. Shutting neck with the length of the shutting neck should be longer than the longest train. The hump should be designed to meet the following objectives. It should be such that each of the wagon movements effective with the worst, the most adverse, the weather conditions clear of the following mark of the outermost siding. There should be a successful group of the wagons separated with each of the other with extent that enables the point between them operated with upon subsequent wagon to be sent with the various sidings. The hump yard should be such that the speed of the wagons is regulated with no damage of wagon. The bumps against each other with the sorting lines. The figure table 26.4 can be taken as a rough guide to design as of the hump. Design to hump. Designing element. Average gradient of the hump at the end of the switching zone. Suggestion for 2% empty, 1.5 loaded. Average height of the ordinary hump. 2.5 to 3 meters or 8 to 10 feet. Average height of the mechanized hump. 12 to 20 feet. Sorting yard. The number of the lines included with the sorting yard depends on the number of the destination for the trains to be assembled. The length of each of the sorting lines is about 15 to 20% more than the normal train is, thereby provisioning some of them based on behind the wagon's layout. The sorting of the yard may be laddered and balloon. Speed of the wagons is controlled by the handbrake. Skids and mechanical retarders is controlled by the manual and mechanically, respectively. Your departure yard. The number of the lines included with the departure yard depends on the name, the number of train, the dispatch for the yard on the frequency of the department. Sure, some of the engineers feel that there is no need for separate dispatching yard because it's unnecessary to increase the length of the marshalling yard. According to them, trains should be dispatched straight from the sorting of the line. The arrangement, however, the running of the problem to depart from the trains delayed on account of the operational reasons. The pattern of the transition good traffic has been changed drastically recently. Now most of the good traffic carried with the train load from point to point. Longitudinal piecemeal the wagons have also drastically reduced. Consequently, the need and importance of the good marshalling yard with reduced considerably. 26.9 Cat sliding and the slipping sidings. Cat sidings are provided with the case for the hilly terrains where the gradients near the railway station are very steep. The purpose of the cat sidings is to arrest the movement of the vehicles if they start to roll down the grade, which may eventually follow the running line. The separate side of the provided outside station yard is so that the vehicles can be collected there. Figure 2616, the DEF, or the running line AB, a dead end siding BC is the cat siding with the connection with the dead end, preferably means of the spring operated point. Cat siding lines lies residing gradient with the length of the so designed for the vehicle, loss of kinetic energy reach of the dead end. This vehicle protected with the damage safety of the train's running line, ensured that the sand hump is provided at the end of the catching side to prevent the air of minor damage to the vehicle. 2616 shows the catching siding, dead end siding, running line, A, B, C, sand hump, catching siding, D and E, running line, D and F, running line. In the case of hilly trains, no more than siding provided each of the end of the station explained here. Cat siding, the providing with a higher level upper end of the station, which starts with the slope of the downwards along with the track of the unauthorized banner of the previous station. Slip siding, they're provided with the lower level, the lower end of the lower station. There is a chance the vehicle is not caught with the catch siding. The entry of the station permits the same will be caught and slipped into the slip siding. Alright, Clapham Junction, London, the southern region of the British Railways, probably the greatest junction station in the world. It has about 17 platforms, but 12 of these lines are used for the trains to either make the other only ordinary station stop. It does not stop all the other platforms are used for the miscellaneous purpose to provide with the transportation, milk, and other similar articles where required. Significant stops before the lines are cleared. There remain 2,500 trains can be run daily with easier from the station. Varied trains that occupy the platform more than a minute or so. Summary: station yards provided with the control of the movement of the train passenger goods. Stations classified based on the operational functional characteristics. The facilities are provided with the station depending on the type of the station. Similar yards are classified with the coach yards, goods yards, marshalling yards, locomotive yards, depending upon their purpose. Efficient station largely depend on the efficiency of the yards. Chapter 27: Equipment at the railway stations.